Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.blogspot.co.uk. What I have for you today is such a simple project that just looks really effective and just makes such a lovely little gift. This is a little folder that unwraps like this, and inside there is just a gorgeous little notepad. And even the notepad is handmade, as well as obviously the coordinating wallet. So let us wrap that back up and I will show you just how incredibly easy this is to make. What I've started with is a pile of, this is cheap A4 copier paper, you know, the sort you get for printers that really cost nothing. You get a huge ream for less than a fiver. And what I've done is I've just cut that down into a pile. It's about 1/16, maybe a little bit more than 1/16 of an inch thick of paper that measures 3 inches by 4 inches. And what we're going to do is transform this into our notepad, and it is so easy. You know, I saw this on the internet. I read about it on a few pages, and I was really skeptical as to whether it works, but believe me, it does. So what you need to do is just tap that to square off your little pile, and then turn it over so your nicely aligned bottom is at the top. And then all you need to turn it into a notebook is some Tombow glue. I'm just going to take the lid off that. Tombow is ideal, any real PVA glue will work, and all you need to do is just rub the Tombow along the top of your little pile. Try and go right to the edges and get it quite evenly. Okay, that's it. Don't want to put too much on, but you need to have enough so that there's like a visible line of glue. So just like that. I'm not sure how well you can see that. And then what you need to do is put something heavy on it. Now what I do is hang it slightly. I'll show you actually. I'll move the camera around so you can see the edge of the table here. I just hang it very slightly over the edge of the table, and then I put something heavy on top of it, like a Stampin' Up punch, and just leave that overnight, and the glue will dry, and you will end up with, if we come back over here, this is one that I did last night, and you can see that we now have a really lovely notepad. Okay. The next thing I did is got a piece of, this is just sort of cardboard, thick cardboard. This actually came with some of the foil paper that I bought from Stampin' Up. And I've just cut that to the same size as my paper, so 4 inches by 3 inches. And I have a strip of the DSP I'm going to use to make my folder out of. And we're just going to use that to sort of seal our cardboard onto our notepad. So I'm just going to put quite a lot of Tombow on the back of this pattern here. You want to put this on obviously the side that you don't want to see. Okay, and all we're going to do is line that up sort of over the top of our paper. This piece, I'm not sure if I give you the measurements, I will put them on my blog, but it measures 3 inches by 2 inches, and then just going to fold that over the back. Once you've got that lined up, fold that over the back of my pad, and that just gives us a nice little finish along the top there. Okay, and that is a handmade notebook that is, you know, it almost seems too easy. You know, people that go out and buy these little notebooks, it just seems too easy. Why wouldn't you make one yourself when it is that straightforward? Okay, so to make the folder, we are going to use a piece of matching DSP. These are both actually from the Bohemian DSP stack, which is my stack of the moment. I love it. And then we are going to need our scoreboard, and it's just 2 score lines. This piece of paper measures 7.5 by 4.5 inches. And all I've done is just rounded off the corners using my Project Life corner rounder. That's that one here. If you need one, let me know and I will order one for you from Stampin' Up. And we're going to score this at 2 3/4 of an inch. 2 3/4 of an inch, and it's 6 inches. Okay, take that off and we can put that away. So we can just fold this over now. Okay, and you can see how it is going to fold up like that. First thing we're going to do though is make our little closure. So I've got my 1/16 of an inch handheld hole punch, and just in the centre of, kind of in the centre of the smaller of the two flaps you've just made, just going to punch out that hole, a small hole there, okay. And then I'm going to take 2 scraps of cardstock in these coordinating colours. So this is Bermuda Bay and Rich Raspberry, and I'm just going to punch a hole using the same hole punch in each of those. And then we're going to take our 1-inch circle punch first. Well, this is the wrong size. No, this is the right size. Is it the right size? I'm not sure. No, it's the wrong size. Right, I'm back with the right size punch. Not the 1-inch punch, take the 3/4 of an inch circle punch. And firstly we're going to punch out our Bermuda Bay, and we're going to line it up so that we get that that hole we've just punched out in the centre of our 3/4 of an inch punch. And then we're going to bring in our 1/2 inch punch and do exactly the same on the Rich Raspberry, lining up with that circle. Okay, then we need a little brad, and we are just going to feed firstly the Rich Raspberry circle through, then the Bermuda Bay, and then we're going to feed it through our little folder there, and just press out the brad inside the folder. Okay. Now we are ready to bring in our little notepad, and we are just going to put some Tombow on the back. I mean, these notepads alone, they would be just a nice gift, wouldn't they? Just a little jotter pad like that. I think they would look nice as little sort of stocking filler gifts. And we're just going to stick that sort of down into the middle of our folder like that. Okay. Close it up, and it will, because it's paper, it will just fold neatly around your notebook. And the last thing we need is some baker's twine. This is just the basic, this is just Whisper White baker's twine. I'm gonna start by wrapping that underneath our 2 circles. Oh. We'll go underneath now. That's good, that means you've got a good brad link. So we're just going to wrap that off like that. Okay, wrap it once, twice around our folder, and that make a nice little crossover pattern. And then the last time we're just going to close it off by wrapping it around and then trim it like that. Okay, just going to finish it off with a little brad. I'm going to use a Bermuda Bay brad to candy dot even in the middle of my brad like that. And there we have it, 2 really gorgeous, but my gosh, how simple were they, little notebook covers. Hope you give it a go. If you give them to anybody's gifts, I'd love to hear how they go down. I think they will be really well received, and as you saw, super simple to make. Thanks for watching, bye!